really about to struggle. Underground is like a tunnel, make it happen. We don't need a drum roll. Party till the sun up, rapping in a puddle. It rained last night, autumn leaves in my gutter. I keep the bread by the toaster, the knife by the butter. Motherfucker, cool cucumber with the brain of a hustler. Before Usher made you stutter, before your belt got studded, when your life had structure. Before I kicked the bucket, fuck it, I can make this beautiful for you.
Tuscarora Fairgrounds.
Is that you, M80? Is that your vocals?
Of course, you know it is.
Damn. You strip club DJing ass motherfucker.
He's the most underrated DJ I've ever met.
He is.
Yo, he got so many tricks and traits up his sleeve.
I know. He definitely talks the talk too. He definitely
no, it doesn't
shows
talk the talk. You know what I mean? When other people talk about him, they talk about the respect that he's done. So, point blank, period. Well, like I said, people, we back on TTS here. We got another special episode. The whole purpose of this Trials and Tribulations podcast is to dive into people's life stories and speak about what they've been through to where they're at presently. Each story's uniquely the same, but within its own explanation through the journey of the person that experienced it. Today we have another special guest. He's very multi-talented, very, very unique within himself. If you could, please introduce yourself.
Oh, my name is Mike Excel. It's M-I-C. It's not Mick. It's Mike. Let's clear that up. Everybody shows up, says, where's Mick at? Says he's not here. He left. My name's Mike Excel. Nice to meet everyone here again.
Absolutely, absolutely. Welcome. So, under your description is multi-talented. As a kid, what did you see yourself being growing up?
Man, as a kid, it was sort of, I just did whatever I could to stay longer at school because I just didn't want to go back home because it was kind of like some turmoil back home with my parents and stuff growing up. They were really dealing with, you know, the ending of the 80s and all that party scene, and I feel like it spilled into the 90s, which made me just want to like dive deeper into other things that kept me at school, which was music. And I got into playing any instrument that would keep me far, far away from just the things that were going on. And it's funny because there's so many artists that all went to this grade school. Like me and Rick High were in the same class for a year. I know Westside went to the same school. We all had the same music teachers growing up. And it's just bizarre seeing everyone still so deeply immersed in such a like the fundamentals that they learned from like the same building, you know? It's just...
Let's touch on that a little bit because that's a unique statement that you just made there. I mean, we know this area is on the uprising of artists and talented and, you know, I mean, everything that's underrated about this whole 716 area. And you just said that you went to school with these individuals or they passed through the same grade school as you, correct?
Yeah, exactly. It's so funny that the grade school is where everyone kind of like, I feel, just got the like I said, the right bare bones, you know, of what you need to do to keep just that fire inside of you. You know, I don't know why I learned it as a kid there, but I can always go back from grade school when you look at the pictures and you could just see, you know, you just see us all as little kids there, but you know, majority of them are all still kind of doing the same thing or just, you know, just stuck it out. So I think something about that schooling just distilled some confidence in you, bro. What
school is that, if you don't mind me asking?
It's Olmsted, the brightest and the best and the boldest. It's pretty cool stuff. There's a lot of other people that were involved in that school. Rashad Holly is a fashion designer. To this day, some of the teachers are still sharing all my stuff that's going on.
That's beautiful work.
Yeah, it really just pushed me. And then when I got into high school, it was a little bit different. But that's when I got into rhyming because I was like immersed in the skating culture, and I was just watching skate tapes.
Who's your favorite skater?
I was a rollerblader. I did rollerblading and stuff like that. So I basically just picked anything that just put a target on my back. I was like, okay,
push yourself to the limits.
Yeah, I was like, just bring it. Say some shit about my rollerblading or something like that. But I listened to Black Star during a skate tape, and after that, I heard Talib Kweli spit, and I just said, what is these thoughts racing through my head now? What are these metaphors? And just after that, I just kind of like looked into the poetry side of it. And then I got more obsessed with the ego side of it because I was like, oh shit, you could talk some shit, and like the best, form of artwork to me is being able to say that you're good at it and like really, really like be behind it,
So battling.
So not so much battling.
Not a battling, but I'm talking about on a lyricist. Like
on a lyricist, like for me, it's just like it comes down to the like if I believe the authenticity inside your soul in the words that you say and you believe it and you back it up, then that right there is what you're put on the earth to do. You know what I mean? Like that's what it's all about. It's just people being able to relate and believe your story. So I hear so much like, verses and choruses, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about some of the times? And I'm like, not just because I can't relate to the context, but like, what are you talking about? Like
the simulations that some people use?
Yeah, just how little thought is put into, because it might not seem like a lot of thought in my music is into it, but I'm very precise and meticulous on what I said, what I haven't said before, how I say it, how many things I can cram into a sentence, and it's more or less just trying to shock myself. But if I get another artist on board, that's like my ultimate goal of this. Like, I'm not here for the numbers. I'm here for the craft. I want to be an artist. I want an artist to give me a dap versus 10,000 fucking double clicks from people that will never even really grasp what I'm trying to, portray and what I'm doing through the art, But I feel like only on an artist level could you really dive into what I'm saying.
So what type of genre would you say you speak upon? Where's your demographics of words and where's your target?
I'm just stuck in all the crazy things that I end up researching for no reason, like I go down like the rabbit holes of like the Anunnaki, and then I go into like my own personal stories with like, dealing with drinking and dealing with partying at a young age. Cause I did my first show, I think I was 15. They thought I was like 22. You know what I mean? So since that, I just kind of base it on my own life, but also my interests. Like I said, aliens, what this country really stands for, shit like that.
Which are real. Aliens are real, and I'm glad he brought that up because not too many people believe that.
Yeah, no, aliens are very real. We can go into a way different conversation.
I mean, that. Bro, this is about a unique life's individual story and what they foresee as life and the way they grasp it. So we can talk about anything, bro. That's what makes this podcast unique. It's not okay, this is what I did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is what makes you unique. And not everybody understands that. Not everybody has the ability to sit there and speak on what they believe as an individual and have a free basis.
Yeah, I'm not shook either. I'm not
No, I mean, they're real. Like,
yeah.
A lot of people think that people that believe in those things are crazy or they're out of this world, but you really look at it and it's crazy. You can go back to all the other past episodes. There's a few other episodes that I spoke on this book. It's called Behold a Pale Horse.
Yeah, that's
William Cooper.
Yeah, and it's a Johnny Cash song too, right?
Yes, right. Back in the day. And like I said, this book here discloses a lot of information that quote unquote are conspiracy theories, but yet this is premeditated, released before any of this even happened.
Yeah.
So how can you say it's a conspiracy if it's already spoken about and it actually happens in the demographics of the way it's being explained?
No, I totally agree. But I also like where we're at now as a whole is that you have people that are doing what we're doing and they're looking at the camera and they're telling you these facts and you're believing these facts, and then they'll be like, and The Simpsons called it 8 years ago. And then you're like, now I don't believe anything you fucking said. I don't know where to go from here. Like, you had me. And then now The Simpsons are prophets. I'm like, you need to I don't know. I just don't know what direction everyone else is going in with like their podcasts or like their train of thoughts when they're explaining things like aliens or things that the government are doing or how they're covering up this, or I just know like the facts. I know that the pyramids were built, 5,000 years ago, and then
they can't be mimicked.
they can't. Well, not only that is that the next largest man-made structure would be, I believe it's the Eiffel Tower.
Yes.
And that's like thousands of years in between where they were like, yeah, we will get to some tall shit eventually. And that just doesn't make sense to me. Like, science doesn't just stop, and like the engineering doesn't just stop. It should continuously evolve. So that right there is just one of the many like red flags. And The Simpsons also. No, just kidding.
No. I mean, people listen. It's funny that that's brought up because, yeah, a lot of the episodes, whatever. But it doesn't matter. That's animated thought. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We're talking about real life situations. We're talking about real life encounters. And all this other stuff that's not being disclosed, you know what I mean? Like, it's being hidden, and they're trying to say that the population ain't ready. I mean,
yeah, they just trying to put it in between two big ass bleached pieces of white bread, bro, and they're just trying to serve it to you, and you're gonna eat it, and you're gonna not.
Does it come with mayonnaise?
It comes with extra mayonnaise, bro.
The mayonnaise is the shit that a lot of
that's what's killing you. And then there's the water. There's oh my god, there's just so much terrible things going on in the world. But we're here about rap music, and it's great that we can sidetrack about it. But one of the things about the album that I'm doing, the names one of the tracks on there, Betty Hill, is about like one of the first alien abductions, actually. And it's between Betty and Barney Hill. It was in the 1960s, and it was a mixed couple. And amongst all these, just stereotypes that are being tossed around in the media, they weren't like, so enthusiastic probably about sharing their personal lives and their relationship, because it was looked down upon, unfortunately, at the time. But they were going around the country explaining to people what really happened to them. And I just thought that was just so fascinating and just inspiring to be like, this is my man. Like, I don't care. This is what's really happening. We're going place to place and we're explaining ourselves. So hopefully some sort of light can get shed upon this and we know what's really going on. And I thought it would be really funny if, they were on this date and they were in the car and they got abducted and they came back, and then he's still like, can we, are we gonna let this ruin the date? Can I smash? You know what I mean? Like just because we got abducted don't mean this shit's over, baby. Like,
nah, weird.
So I took a piece of history and just kind of spun it on its ass, just to make myself laugh and to kind of educate some people about, Betty Hill and like what her and her man went through, to try to educate people on aliens. We're so on aliens today. It's so funny. It's just such a podcast topic. Yeah. I
mean, it's unique within itself because, like I says, this is truth that a lot of people have been withheld from. You know what I mean? And it's just now coming out.
It's all. Slowly, I feel like it's all been there. If you like look up, like if you can connect the dots between like Sumerian things and Egyptian things and like what was labeled as facts and what was labeled as myths, it's like they basically just chose, I think his name is Menes, or the first pharaoh, and they were like, that right here is when it starts to become real, and anything before that's all fake. And it's like, who fucking decides that kind of thing?
I guess it's up to your brain.
It's
up to your thought.
It just all sounds just so like unbelievable. So like, why pick and choose what's real and what's not? And when you get down to the bare, the just like the brass tacks of words and Latin, what it's derived from, and where you get like amen and amun and like all these things in between, you could just see the
shift.
You could just see the shift, the spinning of the truth and the molding. And when you think about people and you think about just people, I tell you one story, I came into the bar last night and he said some shit and I just let him go. And then the next person goes, yeah, he knocked him out last night. I saw it. And then you're like, that's not the story, but that's what you took from what I said. And you added your little sprinkle on it. And this whole Sunday is a mess now. And it's not the real truth. So I can see how things get off the rails for sure with
I'll never stop sharing this quote. Like I says, this quote is unbelievably true. And this quote is in the beginning of Behold the Pale Horse. And I shared it previously, and I will continuously share it every opportunity I get, which is most suitable for what you're speaking on right now. It says, one basic truth can be used for a foundation of a mountain of lies. But if you dig down deep enough inside that mountain of lies and pull out that single truth and place it on top of that mountain of lies will crumble.
Oh, yeah.
Under the weight of that single truth. And there's nothing more reverberating than exposing the truth to those that have not been that have not have the desire to be awoken.
Right. I mean, you got to be hungry for it for sure. And you have to be able to, like you said, sift through all that muck and mold and lies and BS. And if you want it, it is there. And then I always think like, when if I did see it, I was like certain about it, like I'd probably just be over it already because that's just my personality.
Just
like,
accept it and go, right?
I'd just be like, all right, that was cool. I knew
experienced it.
Yeah, I knew.
I feel the same, bro.
I knew. I don't think I'd go into shock or anything like that. I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. I knew it.
You were placed here to try to scare me, but you just educated me and I accepted it.
Right. And if we're being honest, I mean, if you look at Earth, if you just look at Earth from a perspective of a businessman, if you think, okay, look at all the species on the planet, there's like, I don't know, something like 50 something species of fucking beetles out there. You know what I mean? It just sounds like somebody is engineering something specifically for somebody that they could sell somewhere else. And it sounds like we're just some conveyor belt of, bio engineering that they're trying to sell off. They're trying to match this thing. They're like, yo, we got this fucking lion, bro. If you want it on your planet, we grow them here on Earth. It'll be whatever, 50 tons of gold or whatever helps our atmosphere. You're at,
It's a liger, but when it gets to your world, you can name it whatever you want.
Right, and it speaks, 8 languages. We designed it that way. Don't tell the humans back on Earth. They're just, they're still driving gas cars. But yeah, that's just like one of the many things that inspires me to become a rapper. It's just words and how people use them and how I can spin them to make you, be put in a place I choose to put you in, which kind of sounds maniacal in a way, but it's just like what I have to do. Like, it's what I enjoy doing. It's just being creative. And that to me is just satisfying in itself to sit down, write a rap and make somebody go through some shit. Even if it's bad shit, I'll take you down with me.
You got to think about, you got to trigger a brain. You as an artist, when you deliver, obviously you're not trying to target or isolate, your words towards individuals, but obviously you try to grasp the thought train, correct?
Oh yeah, I try to. I get like super descriptive, but I also get very cryptic, where like people just like won't ever even understand what I'm doing. And then or if I'm with you and I look at you and I just say like a few words and you're like, oh shit, and I'm like, yeah, now you know. It's like a code, and I'm like giving you the key card. You know what I mean? The master lock, and you can just see it differently now. Once you're in the room with me, and a lot of people think that my personality isn't really reflected from the rap music, but it's in there, man. It's in there clear as day if you're really listening to every little fucking breadcrumb I leave.
What would you say your best drop is?
My best rap ever?
Yes.
My best rap ever? I think the best rap I ever write is the one I'm about to write the next day. Because I'm like, as soon as
it's like the vitamin, right?
Yeah, dude. As soon as I finish one, I just like move it over, and then I'm just like, okay, cool. What's next? And I'm just hungry for beats and music and whatever it can like trigger inside me to go.
How often do you revisit your things that you already previously used?
I would. So for an album, it takes me like a year to like, only because like ordering vinyl takes a little bit longer since COVID, like 4 or 5 months. So I'll probably have like 6 months of nonstop only listening to my shit, what I'm putting into it, who I can get onto it. And I don't listen to anything at all when I'm doing it. I'm not influenced by anything whatsoever musically. I'll shut down even if my favorite artist is dropping that week. I'm just completely immersed. And once I'm over the threshold and I know I got like a little product that I'm proud of, then I just start eating it up. And then in the next project, I'm like, subconsciously influenced some way by these artists, but I don't like once it's out, I don't ever really revisit it at all because I'm so over it at that point. To me, I've listened to it 1,000 times for 6 months straight, figuring out what ad lib I need to get rid of or what thing I need to add in the background. Or like sometimes I sing and I pitch it up and I do it that has like 2-3 words that has nothing to do with the song that I just want to add into it in a harmony that'll just kind of fuck you up. You're like, oh, well, what did he say right there? Why did he say that? And then you like go back and he said, stop wasting your time. And like, that's what I wanted you to do. I wanted you to waste your fucking time trying to listen.
Think about what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
You already lost.
Yeah, you're like, what is it? And then it'll be like, haha, I wasted your time. And you're like, fuck, you fucking got me,
But not really, because you know what? It might have spiked a different interest.
Right. It is like, to me, like I said, it's just all in between the lines and the couplets and the spaces and the gaps. And it's like, for me, with the words, it's like that DVD screen. You know what I'm talking about, bro? The DVD joint that to be hitting the screen. I'm trying to get it in the corner with all my words, bro. Every time, corner, pocket. and just
You're talking about a screensaver?
yeah, this, you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're
I'm
talking
just trying to get all my words and magically hitting those corners, and then get some sort of uplift. Like hopefully they feel good after they listen to it. They might feel sad during some of them, but as long as you feel something, then I'm doing my job. I feel like, at least as an artist, I do that with everything I put my my artist mind to.
Speaking of artists, let's use that word in a general statement. You're also a drawer, tattoo artist.
Yes.
Very uniquely, intellectually within your own brain. Unique.
Yeah.
Like, let's talk about your art.
Yeah.
I mean, besides, before we go any further, I was gifted this just before the show here.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. Could you give us some definition and description of what you have here and what you thought?
Yeah. I basically where I live by a church, and I just look at it all the time, and I'm just like, just fascinated by the idea of people like coming together for all these wonderful reasons, but like kind of just slightly missing the mark of like what kind of change they're actually capable of, you know, if that makes any sense. I'm not saying church is a waste of time or you shouldn't go or anything like that, but it's just a lot of confusing aspects of like keeping all these people together, and then all this good feeling, like where does it go to? Like, what are you going to do? What is the movement? Where's the progression in it? Like, are you just here to be thankful for everything, and then you don't move forward in your own path? Like it's just strange to me. So it makes me feel like a Frankenstein. So I basically did a Frankenstein, like looking out the window, and the street sign says nowhere, because that's just where I feel like I live. I live on nowhere streets sometimes.
Now, can we get a little more descriptive and allow myself to enter this?
Dissect it.
Well, from what you described to me, is very unique, and I very, very openly, with open arms, accept this gift. And please don't think what I'm about to describe is anything racist or anything. You know, no.
It's gonna be good.
No. Like derogatory.
Oh my God.
No derogatory towards any religion or any aspect of any belief.
It's all love. You're gonna say you gonna say talk some shit about pizza or something? What do you mean racist?
I mean, it's not racist. It's more so what my belief is.
Oh, okay.
My belief. I'm Uncle Homeaway. I'm Native American, and like I said, when we talk about churches and all that stuff, you know, that's a confusion that was brought here from a different country when all the agreements were made.
Oh, absolutely.
And as Native Americans, and like I said, I'm about to make this statement, and I'm not being any which way, you know what I mean, talking down upon, disrespectful or nothing, but we as Native Americans have one set belief. And our set belief is we have duties to take care of upon Mother Earth. And it's that way, that's it. Now, when we look at religions from the church aspect, why is there Roman Catholic? Why is there Baptism? Why is there Christianity? But they all demographic around the same thing.
Yeah, it's
the confusion part. And this is what we say as Native Americans. They have all these demographics of beliefs. And there's so many confusion ways out there. But yet we as Oklahoma people only have one set belief. We don't mix and match, you know what I mean, our words to try to confuse anybody else for a dictatorship and try to rule them.
You're not trying to Jim Jones people.
No, we have one set belief, and that's our duties as Oklahoma people.
Right.
Now, like I said,
that's beautiful. I mean,
but it's funny that you said it, and I really accept this because what you explained.
It's just a confusion. It's just a confusion of mine about it. That's all.
100%.
An understanding. I was baptized, you know.
And I'm not talking bad. Like I said, I have children that are baptized. I got children that believe in God. And I'm not talking that. That's
and
what
I
they
don't
want.
think
And
there's nothing wrong.
I support it.
Right.
Because they still have to go through life.
Right.
And experience it for their own sake, you know?
Right. But it's just those things. Those are the things that are just on my mind because I'm just constantly trying to figure out other people's, you know, how they walk through life just to enlighten myself. Just you know, the whole, like I'm a student, you know, I'm a student of Mother Earth.
I appreciate this gift really wholeheartedly. I appreciate this gift.
I appreciate you having me here, bro.
That's why I asked you, you know, what did you really, because we didn't have this conversation yet. You just gifted them this.
No, yeah, I was like, I gotta leave him something. Yeah. But
and that's very unique because, like I said, I'm not talking bad about him, but when you describe what this painting or this art is, it's very simulation to my life.
Yeah, it literally is like looking out my bedroom window. That's just like one of the things, and that is like one of, you know, hundreds and like maybe even thousands of drawings that I do in a night. Not one night, but like I do one a night. And I've been doing it for close to 10 years now. So it's like I have a fleet of like thoughts that are images just saved.
So aside from your music, you also focus on that pen on a different level.
I am trying to be a pen master of all
That's unique.
of
That's
all
very,
the things,
very...
anything that comes out of me with this, then whether it's a verse, a picture, some letters, a tag, anything like that.
How many artists can say that, they're multi-artists?
Artists,
when I see an artist, I look at a musician.
A lot of the time I feel like I feel like artists get discouraged from pursuing multiple pipelines at the same time. They're like, well, yeah, you got to, but what are you going to be known for? What are you going to do this? Like, yeah, I also do this. Because when someone comes up to me, bro, and they're like, yeah, I'm a director, I'm a rapper, I'm a videographer, I also got Photoshop, I do this, I do that. I just say, just wrap it up. I don't know, like, who are you? And I'm one of those people that are pursuing multiple things. So it's just like an internal conflict with it all. So I want to focus on one thing, but I just can't. I don't have the attention span. So I have to do like 5 things at once, and it all has to be with the pen. So
do you ever spread yourself too thin?
Yeah, I find sometimes things fall to the wayside. Like when I was doing this album, I just tattooed a lot less. I just wanted to get the music out as fast as I can. And then it's also a lot of like, it's like with artwork, it's like trying to catch the butterfly. You chase the butterfly with the net, you ain't going to catch shit. You just sit down.
Let it come to you.
Yeah, there's going to be a bunch of them that land on you. So when I'm doing one thing, I usually get pulled in another direction, whether it's spray paint, doing a mural, and then having to just travel and be away for 2 weeks. And then sometimes we're gone. I tattooed in LA for close to 3 months. And when you're gone and you come home, everybody else still ages, but like you're kind of like living on a different planet. It's not like you're learning, but when you're in the same spot over and over again, I feel like it ages you a little bit quicker almost.
Do you feel like you succeed more outside of the town than you do inside?
I think people have more of an open ear to the things that I'm doing and are ready to embrace it because they know that you're willing to leave your home to speak, your truth and what you're passionate about. And that alone just can get you in a lot more doors than, you going to every venue in Buffalo telling you, I'm going to throw a show, I'm going to pack the house, I'm going to throw a show, I'm going to pack the house. You go somewhere else, they're like, oh shit, you came, 1,000 miles away to be here. We're going to pack the show for you because if you're coming out here to prove yourself, we're going to give you the opportunity to either, fail or succeed. 100%. Which is like, doing that over and over in Buffalo. It's hard to do when there's like 3 or 4 venues and, they're like iffy about hip hop sometimes and they want to do it a certain way this time. And then when you deal with promoters and what they want to do, that all stuff, like I'm definitely a studio kind of artist. Like I said, I'm just like focused on the craft and like hoping that the higher ups will notice what I'm doing and just dap me when I need to say, hey, you're doing a good job. I don't need to sell 1 million records to feel like, I'm succeeding. I just need to feel like, someone I respects what I'm also doing.
It's funny that you say that this local area, they really frown upon the hip hop scenery, and I can condole that. It's very discouraging because the flash that it comes with that from the past.
Yeah,
I remember
to stigma.
The 3 concerts I held here at the Tuscarora Fairgrounds last year, trying to find an after party spot for Redman, Method Man, Beanie Siegel. Jim
for
Jones.
a beanie. What? Yeah, that's rad.
A lot of places didn't care how much money you really have.
Right.
They really care about the crowd that comes with that, and it's a shame because
they're nervous about the crowd, which is terrible.
3 concerts I had were very successful. Not a big crowd, but you know what? Nothing happened. Nobody got hurt.
Yeah.
Everybody come and enjoyed themselves, and that's a pat on my back to myself because that's proven that you guys don't have to be scared. Like you gotta give this ability and this growth to develop.
Yeah, you gotta let people be good. You can't just say they're not gonna be good. You gotta let people prove to you. And honestly, 9 times out of 10, bro, if we're all together and we all start to break down those barriers and we start like feeding off each other's energy, only good comes from that. If if you give it the chance to like blossom into what
100%.
it's what it's supposed to be.
About that is hip hop is tied in with us minorities, so it makes it look like something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
For those that
I
didn't
don't
hear,
think-
DJ M80 said that for those that don't understand the fondness that the demographic of the minority has with that genre is just, you know what I mean, it's still caught in the past. And people, we're in 2023. Like, we really have growth and development within our own grasp, in our own hands, and that's the computer. So like I said, people, use that as free range as you could.
Yeah, definitely educate yourself on every single country on the planet and like what language. Like if there's a language out there you've never heard, just listen to the audio, man. There's heart in how they say things. There's way more bridges being built daily than being burned down, I feel, at this point, which is
100%.
Which is kind of, that's an uplifting thing to think about. But there are people that are stuck in, a certain train of thought that is just completely wrong, and it is sad. But I think ultimately, hip hop itself in the whole is waking up to more of an acceptance of kind-hearted music and stuff like that, where like I feel it didn't originally stem from, but it kind of waved in and out of like being happy and successful and then not being angry. And then there was like this new wave of like sad boy hip hop where a lot of them passed away. Like, there was like XX, there was Peep, there was, that whole genre, like all those kids, like, they unfortunately had a shorter lifespan. And I feel like then other artists that just like weren't involved in that type of music. So like with the style that hip hop goes in, you could see the changes in society. I feel like once all those kids were getting, hooked on drugs and like all those terrible things were happening to them, that they started to make happy music. You know what I mean? I feel like from tragedy comes great growth.
Their feelings.
Yeah, exactly. And
honestly, because I think a lot of them realized that could have been them.
And exactly, and that spans across every fucking race right now, especially in any city, because it really is a scary situation with that drug shit. I see it all the time, and I see people like in tattooing. I'll be like, hey man, I'll see you in a few months, and in a few months, man, they're like they're a different person almost. You know what I mean? They look different, they act different, and it's just such a quick wave that just fucking just gets you, and it's just such a sad thing to see in those kids' hip hop. I didn't want to bring up sad shit, but yeah, that whole time period of music is just fascinating to me. How quick Juice WRLD, one of them too. What a fucking great artist that I didn't really even know about while he was alive.
Marshmallow is one of my favorite songs.
So yeah, that like.
I try to be everything that I can, you know what I mean? Sometimes I come up with being nothing.
Yes.
Like those lyrics right alone, a lot of people can't grasp their brains around that because they're not even satisfied with what they're trying to be.
Right. You had like
it's like a false drive.
You have to believe in yourself. Like
you have to,
you know
bro.
what it is? That's the cheat code. The cheat code is just following your fucking heart, because there is a voice inside you that is telling you to do some shit. And if you listen to it, you kind of tune it to like, what you're capable of, it's not going to steer you wrong. You are never going to be wrong to you, which is dangerous, but
sometimes that fear a lot of people can't face. I was one of them, you know what I mean? I was one of the ones that did. I always ran from my fear, and really it was that first instinct that I should have followed. It was the second one that I did, though. You know what I mean? The second one, after I realized it, the consequences that came from the consequences that came from that repercussion, I'm like, damn, that's why I thought the first one.
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes it's too late.
It's just that dang brain, dude. Your brain would just be fucking kicking you in the cuts and just telling you all the good stuff, but also like every once in a while it does try to get you like to be precautious, and you should listen to it, but also I feel like when you're in that unfamiliar, scary, like gut missing that stare feeling, you're in a good place to learn the most and go the furthest when you don't really know like
the bounce back.
Yeah, like if
bounce back.
Like to me,
if you fail, you know what you got to do to get your ass back up.
Right. As long as you're not risking your life or anything,
yes,
then yes, definitely dive into that deep water and not be shook from it. Like that's that's where you're gonna grow. That's where you're gonna grow into the person you're meant to be. You know, the person that you really see yourself as is right in those few moments where you can really just like, you know.
On the individual statement, how would you define success?
I would define success like basically to me it's just fun. Like if you're able to wake up and have fun and you go to work and you're having fun and you hang out with your friends and you're having fun, then that's success to me. You know what I mean? All the other stuff, I never chased a check. I never did any of that stuff. I just, you know, believed in the work and just had a good work ethic because, you know, I can do everything from inside, you know, my little universe. I can draw, I can paint, I can create verses, I can talk to people there. And it's just where I feel like the most at home and where I can like be the best version of
I've
myself.
noticed you made a few statements upon, you know what I mean, financial stability is not really an issue and not really a thought because you're happy. Now we're in 2023. How as a multi-talented artist on different levels, how can you accept
being broke? What are you trying?
Yes.
How can I accept?
I
Being
mean,
broke?
I'm not because I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying.
No.
You know what I mean? You what it seems like you do everything from your heart,
Right.
and how can you drive and be functional and have the stability in life in 2023?
In artwork, the most intriguing thing about it all is there is no stability. I don't know what's coming next or where I'm going to go next. I just know that if I just stay on this little path I've been paving the whole way, it's way further to go back out than it is to go deeper in. So I just got to keep going deeper in and deeper in. You know, the days will go. I'll have the birthdays. I'll do all that shit. But at the end of the day, it's still just the same essence, doing the same things that I've been doing since like 13, 14 years old, you know?
Now, I know earlier in the episode you said that something about, you know what I mean, addiction.
Yeah.
Do you simulate your distractions of art to distract yourself from that, or
I never had like addictive problems. I grew up around it a lot, so I just seen the whole spectrum of it. You know, people coming in, people going out, people going back in, people staying out their whole lives, and I just take a little piece of everyone, you know, and I put it in my story too. You know, I'm just
each one teach one.
Yeah, exactly. It's like as long as I'm not, you know, influencing them in a negative way, I definitely will drill people for information on their lives, especially when I'm tattooing them. People open up to me like, you know, like a flower or something, you know, like they tell me all this stuff, and to me that's like one of the honors of tattooing is that they kind of like take this stuff and they're feeling this pain, and then it becomes,
I wasn't gonna say it, but
it becomes something that we both experience. You know what I mean? It's like they put it into me, you know, like what they've been going through, and sometimes it's just really playful, but sometimes it gets dark. Sometimes they're getting a tattoo because somebody, you know, passed away, or they're getting a tattoo covered because, you know,
a mistake.
Fuck that dude, or fuck that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So everyone's got their story, and everyone's trying to tell their story. That's for sure. That's one of the best things about everything going on now with these like podcasts and stuff, that I'm not one of those, you know, clowns that think not everyone should have a voice, because everyone does have a voice. So they will have a voice, and they should use that voice to do whatever they can, as long as, you know,
sink or swim.
Yeah. Just
use that voice to either put yourself up there or drown yourself.
I'll let a motherfucker drown, dude. I see it all the time. I say, I'm known to just, you know, I'm here for the comments sometimes, and I'll just see some shit going on. I'm just like, damn, bro.
Shaking my head.
Like, you should know better. You should know better than to approach people this way. You know, it's a good, like I said, it's a good and a bad thing. But I think more good will come out of it the more people talk like we're doing right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's good shit.
I mean, like I said, when this idea of this podcast was developed, honestly, it wasn't really thought out. I mean, it was, but it wasn't. Was it 80? I mean, we
just did it.
You know what I mean? Like I said,
this room right here.
I peeped a few of the episodes, and like, you know, what we're talking about now is great. And then I've seen other people just talk about
just regular like 1-2-1-2 stuff.
Just
like,
yeah.
Deeper level.
I'm trying to get in there. I'm trying to get something from you guys while I'm here. You know what I mean? Something to write about.
Yes.
So I'm not just trying to be like, and then we went on tour, and then
see, that's why I shared that with what you shared with me about this artwork. It really touched me because you know what I mean. It touches very a lot of simulation basis on what I think.
I mean,
but through your own brain and what you thought previously,
right? And that's
and then you gifted me this, and
that's
wow.
And that's the whole thing about art is that it's supposed to be there. It's like a ghost. It's gonna possess you. It's gonna make you do what it wants to do, and then whatever you go from there, it could be, you know, a whole different flip side to it, the way that you perceive it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
all yin and that yang.
It's all fascinating, to me. That's why I keep doing it. I just keep drawing and writing and seeing who I'm becoming through. Because
what do you entertain more? Do you entertain your lyricists, or do you entertain your artwork?
So basically, like, my routine is like I'm up at 7 a.m. I gotta walk my dog, and then I like do a little spliff, and then I'll sit down and I'll just listen to all the beats in my current project, and then I'll just like kind of like jot down notes. And then if for some reason something starts formulating, I'll sit down and do that. And then I go in, start tattooing around noon, 1, and then after that I get home, and then I'm just drawing like whatever my next idea is for that. So it's like it's every day for me. It's like it's like to me it is like breathing at this point. Like every single day I'm doing the same thing, which sounds boring, but it's the most fun I've ever fucking had. I can't.
Most peace, right?
It's peace. It is. It's peace. I get peace from it, and that's why I treat it with such respect. You know what I mean? What I put into it is what it definitely gives me. You know, and that's why a lot of people do focus on one thing at a time, because they're just that much closer with the one thing than the other things. And I do let things, like I said, fall to the wayside, but I try to give, you know, everything that I'm pursuing, the TLC, you know, it deserves at the same time. I try to keep all the horror. I look at it like, you know, those like carnival like games where you point it at the mouth, the clown mouth, and you spray it. It's like that.
Oh, the circle?
Yeah, and it's like I got like 3 guns, you know what I mean? So sometimes I can't hold the third gun, so I'm just holding the 2, and the 2 are going up, and then I got to go back to the third and hit the other one, but they're all moving, you know what I mean? But sometimes like I just can't hit all the triggers at the same time. So it's frustrating, but it's all I have to do is those 3 things. All I have to do is continue what I am doing, and then at the end of the day, you know, whenever I'm done doing what I'm doing, I'm at the top of my game, because you don't get worse by doing this shit every day. Like,
unless you give up.
Yeah, unless you give up. That's
self-defeat within itself.
Yeah, that's just, I don't know, man. Don't give up. Don't give up.
What would you consider thus far your biggest hurdle along this journey has been so far?
Musically or just anything?
Anything.
I think with music, it's super funny that you know, anytime anybody hears my music, the first thing that they do is they go, I got to compare you to a fucking rapper, and I got to play him for you, and you know, blah,
that's
blah,
what you sound like.
It's just, yeah, yo, you know who you sound like, bro, but like worse. And I'm like, damn, what do you mean?
Nah, he ain't say that.
You know what? No, but that's what I take it.
They're words saying that.
They're
right?
they're like, yeah, you try to do what this dude be trying to do, and I'm like, well, he's just older and a little further down the path, and like he met some people on the, you know, there's no excuses for success or how you get there. I don't care how you get there as long as you don't hurt nobody or sell your soul or some weird ass shit like that, Illuminati. But if
it's out there.
Yeah, it's out there, bro.
Yo.
Yeah, that just scares me. But I just feel like I can't get over what other people are trying to box me in as. They're trying to label me, and they're trying to put a little fucking sticker on me and be like, this is Mike Excel. He sounds like boom, 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 boom. Like the Spotify shit when they're like, other artists you may like. And it's like all these successful artists, and it's like, why, what is this all comparing, contrasting stuff when I'm just trying to be an individual. I just want to be known as an individual, not like, yo, this dude sounds like this or this dude does that. So the hurdle is standing out in what I'm doing in the industry, whatever you want to call it. That's the biggest thing is me being myself, but everyone else thinking, oh, you sound like someone else. Because that's just completely not true, but that's just how quick people want to do it. They just want to say, hey.
They want to simulate you
they
with
want to
something.
throw me in the fucking atmosphere bin. You know what I mean? They want to do that. They want to say, hey, you sound like Slug, or you sound like this fool, or, you know. And that's just something I cannot escape. Like, no matter what, you know, they'll be like, oh, this joint right here reminds me of this Mac Miller joint. And, you know, I didn't even like listen to Mac until after he passed away. And I had like albums way before that dude, you know, he dropped, I think, Kids the same time I dropped my first joint in 2011 or something like that. So I didn't know what he was doing. And, you know, later on in life, it's like, oh yeah, this is comparably, you know, very similar music. And I just want to be like, why can't I just be like the dope rapper, you know, Mike Excel instead of, you know, just being just completely just bunched up in a group and being cast aside instead of like, it's hard to get people hooked to a point where they're like, so like, you know, engaged with you as the individual that they don't think of you that way. And that's like what I want. I just want people to just really listen to what I'm saying, because it's, in the end, it's my legacy. You know what I mean? It's the only thing I'm going to leave behind is these words, these songs, this artwork. Because honestly, the goal is immortality, whether it's in this body or it's through my work, is that I just want to be remembered for being good and doing good. That's it. That's like the end goal.
I mean, you answered my next question of, you know what I mean, when you're gone, what do you really see yourself of all the hard work that you put in, you know? And
I don't know, man. I feel like,
because it's inedible. That's life, you know what I mean? Like I said, you know what I mean? I mean, a lot of people don't reflect upon that way because they see, you know what I mean, whatever.
Yeah,
I don't respect.
I don't have like I said, I don't see like an end goal. I just see like things just unlocking every once in a while where I'll be like, oh shit, I'm taking a few more steps forward today with something I never thought I would. And, you know, to have the greats of Buffalo like sit in the booth with me, like they're not going to just let me get on a track with them, or they're not going to get on a track with me if they don't see some
potential.
Yeah, exactly. So like that alone,
I see that firsthand. It's just like artists that I've spoken to, and you know, they're in certain demographic groups, and it's just like, well, they're not really putting forth the effort towards you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you sure they really see that in you? And this is outside of this. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because it's just like, it's just,
oh, people gas themselves up.
You know
They'll
what
be like,
I mean?
oh, I'm friends with this. I'll do this. Me and we
and
were
to
doing
me,
this.
I have no problem questioning them and putting them on the limelight. Well,
Right.
well, how do you feel?
Call them right now.
You know what I mean?
FaceTime method, man.
I lost
bro.
my phone.
And no, it ain't like that. It ain't like that. I'm about to though. No.
If there's one positive thing that you could change and uplift, not saying that you're not doing it now, towards your community, which one positive asset that you can, you know what I mean, genuinely give back in what fashion?
I do give back to the community. I feel like I do a lot of the murals, and I always work with the price. I'm not trying to just tax people. You know, I'm not trying to get one over on somebody. I just want to have my work, you know,
Recognized.
Like, yeah, well, not like recognized. Like, I want to also, you know, translate their vision through my work. And I always just, like I said, I work with people. I've done, you know, festival events for free and just donated so much of my time left and right to community centers. And I do try to make a positive, you know, impact when I can, when I think to, when I have some time, or when it presents itself. I'm 100% down with that. I don't have, like I said, like there's no end goal or something for me. I'm not like trying to
go.
Yeah, it's just literally so go. For me, it is the journey. It is just like boom, 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 because I feel like it just sounds so weird, but I feel like there is something in there that like I haven't really like gotten to yet. And I feel like once I get there, it'll just be like my mind will just open up a little further, and I'll be able to write better. I'll be able to paint better. I'll be able to tattoo better. And it's just in there. It's got to get to it. Precious.
Right now, what would you say your best mural that you can confidently say That's my best work of art.
Man, I don't even know that question.
Every single one, because you put out so much effort.
Yeah.
Okay, I respect that. That's fine.
Sometimes the best ones are the littlest effort. I just go in there and I just do it, and I'm like, holy shit, we're done. And then they're like, yeah, you're done. And I'm like, all right, this is rad. It's about the connection I have with the people I'm doing the artwork for too. So
it's not a self description. Yeah. It's what the individual described to you, and if they're confident and like with it.
Yeah, if it's a hand in glove transaction where we just meet and everything's in harmony, then I feel like that's just the best outcome for it. Like,
I'm sure you had to go back and.
I'm going through all the data in my head and all my memories. I'm like, what is my best joint? And I'm like, damn, I paint a lot of Grim Reapers and roses, and I'm like, they're kind of similar, but I don't think I have like a favorite. The one I just did on Hurdle, the rooftop with the hand holding the wine glass, that was something that was really important to me because that was like my neighborhood growing up. My grandma used to take me to, the Italian food market. She'd go in there, speak Italian. I wouldn't know what the fuck was going on. And then she'd just like look at me and she'd say, go get the Tylenol. And I said, okay, what do you want? You want the Tylenol? You give me a headache. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck? And I just remember just having so much fun in that neighborhood, and to have something there on like a semi-permanent basis is like, it was just so rewarding in itself to just be there and just be like, yeah, it's my block, turning it up.
So is there any work of arts that you did that you had to go back and redo because the client wasn't satisfied? And if so, how did that make you feel as an individual?
Man,
you don't have to be descriptive.
Like sometimes there is like this tea kettle going on inside me when some people are like, a lot of people don't realize it and I hope this doesn't discourage anyone from contacting me, but a lot of people don't realize that when you're there and on the spot and then you're like kind of wrapping up, they're kind of prone to be like, well, what if we did something else here? What if we did something else here? And it's a lot of segue from the original vision. And I feel like, no war was successfully won when the plan was no plan. Okay. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So a lot of the times they always just want to get that little bit more out of you, that extra juice, that last squeeze in the toothpaste. You know what I mean? And in the end, it's like never, ever worth it. It's always good to go in there with like a fucking game plan, and you got to know your beast, and you got to pick your right battles to like walk into, or else they will.
Try to eat you.
They will try to eat you, and they'll say some stuff that they don't like. And then if you're the type of person to really dwell in it, like sit in your mind and start picking apart all the terrible things that like, because somebody could say something to me, and then like all day I'll obsess over it, and I'll just think about it, and I'm like, damn, are they right? Are they right? Are they right? Are they right? And then I just be looking in the mirror, and I'd be like, nah, they ain't right. I'm right. I do this shit. And it's like I didn't call them; they called me.
Hello.
Is that you? You're Salty Sally over there?
Yo, if
that's Sally's your middle.
Salvatore.
Oh, Salvatore.
Salty Salvatore.
Salty Salvatore.
Yo, AD, I love you, bro. I was just
Ming.
You better not post this when I was looking at you as he was describing that.
You gotta get that.
I just love
sodium.
I love messing with people. I'm very close.
Oh
with.
yeah, I love busting balls. You know what I mean? It's a great time to do it. No.
Okay, so we're coming to that point of the time of the episode where we're coming to the end there, and we always like to get a positive affirmation from the individual. The most positive, and you're very lyrically inclined, not just with the pen, but with your thoughts and everything else. So, what's the best positive jewel you could drop for the viewers out there in an uplifting manner to try to keep going? Or any which way, the positive affirmation.
I would say a lot of it, you are going to learn the hard way, and you may feel like you can't do it all alone, like you absolutely need to, but a lot of the times, man, you have to keep the right people around you. It's so important to keep those 2-3 people who genuinely see you outside of whatever realm, because Mike Excel is an entity that I created as the idea of what I want the world to know me as, not as what I really am. Like, you know, that's not my real name. That's not like how my parents view me. That's not how my family members view me. You know, they just think, you know, I'm just involved in this dark world of tattooing, and then they don't like fully understand it. I would say that if I were to leave you with something, it's that if you have friends that do genuinely love you, then you have to keep them close, and you have to build on that trust, and you can't go the easy way out and hurt those people that potentially could hurt you just as worse. And basically, I'm saying if you hang out with 4 millionaires, bro, you're gonna be the 5th fucking millionaire. So that's my best advice is just keep good company, man.
Choose your crowds wisely.
Yeah, break bread, keep good company. And when you're on that level of you know, synchronicity with your friend group, bro, everyone grows together, you know.
100%.
Yeah, so you know, just keep your friends close. That's all. Just be good to people. And you know, just don't get into tattooing. Stay the fuck away from my money, bro. No, I'm just kidding.
What are your platforms that people can follow you at? If you have any merch or anything else, right now is the time. Where can people contact you?
Instagram is mike.excel.the.artist. So Mike Excel the artist. You can just Google me, and you can come across YouTube. You can come across Spotify, SoundCloud, all that stuff. You can find my music and artwork anywhere as long as you
What's
type
the
in
album you just
Buffalo.
dropped?
The album I just dropped is called Names. It's got 9 tracks on it. It's basically like a concept album. I just started writing songs, and then I noticed that in each of these songs there was like a little nod to a specific person, which was very unintentional. But then I just kind of was able to just like name them after people. So I got like Stanley Kubrick is the name of a song. Like I said, Betty Hill earlier. I got a Jane Doe, Biz Markie, Mark McGrath. I got Zendaya. And it's just little things that triggered my brain to think of these individual people and then call it names. And this is actually everyone on the album, all the names. So this is the track listing, the photo of everyone.
And that's on all platforms?
It's on all platforms. And this is the vinyl. And shout outs to DJ Cutler for putting it together and adding the intros and the outros. Right.
You don't see too many of those nowadays.
I know. People say they fucking see through me anyway, so
is that why it's clear?
Yeah, that's why it's clear.
But the middle's black.
The middle is my artwork.
The middle's the third eye.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, like I said, people, you guys just heard it live from this young man himself.
We just talked about a bunch of weird shit.
Well, hello. That's
Mike
you.
Excel's here, dog.
Listen, everybody, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Make sure you just tap in and tune in. Like I said, this is a very special episode. Aliens, everything else in between.
Aliens, religion. I just Googled podcasts before I came here and just fucking ate it up.
Both of us did.
But thank you for real having me. It is super healthy to talk about this kind of shit.
No, they really are.
Yeah.
They really are.
Yeah.
Well, there you guys go. Thank you, Mike, for stopping in and sharing your story and your views in life. Much appreciated.